Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while, I have been away. Today we have June Card Making Kit. So this is, so you've got 2, 4, 6 cards. Let's open up, have a look. So I'm trying to get back into the flow of it, trying to get my creative juices flowing. How hard is it to do that? To get your juices flowing after being away or having too much on that your mojo just goes on its own little holiday. Anywho, let's have a look. There's an inspiration pack here. We'll have a look at more of the cards. I like these. You end up with a lot of extra embellishments that you can play with. At the same point, you still, if you're a bit brain dead, if you're going away for the weekend, you have these cards that you, let's look at it. You have these cards that you have great big photos of, and you can just find all the elements that you need and sit there and just make 6 cards without thinking about them too much at all. So, rectangle card pack, Aussie card size, some black little matte pearly crystal things, some black ribbon, quite thin. You've got these, which has a Uniquely Creative, has a couple of dies that will go along with that, but this one looks like it's going to be this one. So you could just run this through. There's lots of companies that have the same thing, but run that through, line up the little bits on the side, and run that through, and you've got a whole heap of embellishments just ready and waiting to go. So they have quite a few of those. So we'll do that. Okay, let's quickly have a look. Trying to be quicker in these videos because then it gives me more time to play. So there's, let's go in a little bit. Oh, wrong way. So lots of little steampunky. They are single-sided. One little cut apart. There'll be other cut aparts. We'll put him to the side. All this pretty. Some plain matte ones. Some blues. You could easily leave that ears or cut that out for some extra little bits and pieces, embellishments, which is what I quite often do. That's a bit funky. I love that. That's gorgeous. Some lines and another cut apart. So there'll be 2 of these, 2 of those, and of course, so there's 2 of each design. So there'll be another ones you can cut out. So what I usually do is I'll show you all these, and then I will, off camera, I will cut these. Talk Nat. I will cut these out, and probably that other. Where was that other one? I think I just saw it and I went straight past it. There was another flower ones. You know, I showed you before. There's another flower ones. So I will cut those all off camera, and then we'll come back and do some more, do a little bit of card making. So this is called Steampunk Boutique. So we'll try and quickly go through these as well. So big, massive steampunky things. Look how huge that is. So really quite good for card making or scrapbooking. You could easily use that on a scrapbook page. I would. Not that I scrapbook. The story. That has, the cuts all that out. Awesome. Steampunky butterfly, steampunky bird, a couple of birds, a owl, a fish, a hat, just a couple of hats, and lots of little flowers. some leaves. So that's pretty much it. More flowers, more leaves, clogs. Is it like an old compass or something like that? I don't know, but it's cool. Cute little umbrellas. Even has a little bird on the top there. Pretty cute. So lots of little sentiments, lots of little embellishments. XOXO. Happy birthday. And of course some arrows. So that's pretty much the kit. Oh, there's a tiny little, oh no, it's on the thing. I was gonna like, there's a tiny little heart, but it's actually on that, it's not extra. So that's everything in the kit. So I am going to cut out some of these bits and pieces, and then we will be back to have a little play with all this prettiness. Did you see those? I think you saw those big massive things. All right, I'll talk soon. Okay, so we're on the voiceover now. These are all the cards that I've made that are all out of that sheet of paper right there. Okay, so I've made all those because I thought let's make those cards and see what I've got left over, just so we can try and give a little bit of inspiration. So I've raised this up with a bit of foam tape, obviously. Now I really like how this sheet has lots of little details, but we're going to cover most of it, but I'm going to do that a couple of times. I'm going to do it a couple of times. So I've raised that up again on foam. We've got a little bit of the butterfly sticking out, a little bit of paper, like the old ledger paper type of thing. I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on either end of this sentiment strip, which is going to support the ends. So the center is all going to be flat. I'm just positioning my flowers here. Just getting an idea of where I want them and how I wanted to go about them. I'm going to glue those down with a little bit of multi-matte medium. So today is the 5th of July and this card kit is still available. There is actually another one that is due very soon. I think that's a boho. The next one I think is a boho from what I've seen of emails. So yeah, this kit, I will leave a link down to my blog that will have some more photos as per usual. It will also have some links over to the card kit as a full card kit, and also if it's still available. As I said, it is of the 5th of July 2022, and I will also put a link over to sort of individual things of the kit. So the paper pads, the collectibles, they call them collectibles, and we'll see what else I can find. Usually the ribbon is not something I can find, and the sentiment strip is, I don't know, we'll see. If I can find it, I will link it down. Well, I will link it over on my blog, so go and have a look over there. And I might sort of put up the photos of the 6 cards and then the extra 4 cards. I'll see how I go. I need to get sort of some decent photos of those for you. So that's card number 1. We're going to use a little bit of scraps from the 6 cards. So I'm just going to trim that down. I've got a little bit of a strip, and it is really, really pretty paper. So I like to try and use up all of it as much as I can. A thin line of multi-matte medium just to adhere our strip down. And we'll trim off the excess there. This one's a relatively plain and simple because we've got this great big massive die cut here, this ephemera, and it's just, I like it. It's cool. It's fun. So we're going to use those and put a lot of foam tape all over that, because I want to make sure all the little extra pieces, the flags, the sails, the anchor and everything else is all supported. I've got this thank you and then this XO. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the edge of the label, the tag, glue the rest of it all down, and then we're going to add the little XO, just a little bit of something extra. To finish it off, we're going to use a little bit of the rhinestones and just place a couple down. We're just going to use 3. So we have a little bit more black into the card panel. I like that card. Don't know. I like steampunk, but I like how this is already thought out for you in the sense of colors, elements, all that sort of thing. Because I think if I did it myself with clocks or clogs and clocks and all that sort of stuff, I'm not sure I could do it. It's sometimes these things, and it's the same with hairstyles. I really used to always love the messy hairstyles when I was in my 20s, but I hated it whenever I did it myself. This little piece is actually out of another element that I decided I was going to trim it off. I didn't want to lose all that prettiness. So we've got half an element here, half a die cut. Just going to place that down. Just add a little bit of extra glue because I only put it a little bit just so it can we could tack it down a little bit. Our leaves. And that's going to be great. Going to raise it up with a little bit of foam tape, or let's be honest, not a little bit. And I just really like using elements out of the pattern paper when it's got a focal element to add a little bit more interest in the background of my card. So this is the last card. I'm going to use a die cut I wouldn't use generally at all because it's not quite my thing. I'm not a scrapbooker. But here it's going to add a little bit of something in the background. Now I really like with the clocks there and everything else. I need to just trim that down a little bit more. And this is quite often what I do is, especially with pattern paper, I just eyeball it. I don't stress. I don't try and sort of make it perfect. I just eyeball it and then center it in the middle and no one's going to know about it. See that story, which will be awesome for some people because, you know, the scrapbooking or, you know, if you were doing something a little bit different, like a big card or something like that. But for me, it's not going to fit into my style. So we're going to use it as a background. And by the time I'm finished putting everything down, you're going to see it behind, but you're not going to know, well, you're going to know it's called the story, but no one else is going to, the person that receives this card is never going to know that it has a story. They're just going to see that and see that there's something behind that. So I've layered a lot of the flowers just flat, and now we're going to go through and we're going to raise some of them up. And I did lose gluing some of these flowers down. I was really engrossed in what I was doing, and then I realized I forgot to press play, but you can see it. And most of those flowers are just flat. I'm just using a little bit of leaves and trimming those up to hide and make sure that you can see something, but you can't see that it is a story. We're nearly done with these cards. So I like the cards, they're pretty. As I said to you before, I like the steampunk look.
but if I was to do it straight, I can't do it for the life of me. So I love how the kit has sort of most of the thinking out of it. You've got the 6 cards that you can just play with and get inspiration from, or of course you can totally ignore those and do your own things straight from the start. So we've got lots of cards here. Zoom out a little bit. Lots of cards here. And these are our 4 cards for today. That's it. Take care. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye.